classic, I would say classic Ignatian discernment. So, do you have a desire first? Because if you have a desire, God put that desire in your heart. Do you have the gifts, the talents? Because maybe you feel called to be a deacon, but you're terrified of public speaking and you don't like going to hospitals. So maybe you're not called to be a deacon. Um, but if you have the gifts and you have the desire, and then do you have the opportunity? In my case, the opportunity happened.
Mm.
So if those three things align, because maybe it's not the right, to be a deacon, if you're married, you have to have been married for 7 years at least, because they don't want, they want to make sure that your marriage is established. You
Mhm.
have to be at least 35 years old. Again, they don't want really, really young guys. Um, so maybe it's not the right time. Maybe you're in your 20s and you're like, I feel a desire to be a deacon. Well, you're not being called to be a deacon now because you have to be 35. And if you just got married at 35, you're going to have to wait another 7 years.
Mhm.
So, but when those three things align, the desire, the talent or the gifts, and the opportunity, then maybe that's a sign that God's saying, this is where I'm calling you. And then what I said earlier, confirmation. Are you getting something that you read, something that you heard, you bumped into a deacon or someone said to you, hey, have you thought about the diaconate? And then I'd say, you know what? If it's in your heart, ask. Go and meet with a deacon and call me, Deacon Pedro, at Deacon Pedro, look for me, ask me. Um, um, Speak to deacons, speak to priests, and see, hey, what do you think? I'm thinking about the diaconate. Do you think this is for me? And see what kind of feedback you get. And if it's the right thing, I'm telling you, you can fight God all you want, but God's gonna reel you in at one time or another. So, and definitely, I think that one of those people needs to be your wife. The wife has to be 100% on board.
Mm.
Um, and I think a good deacon's wife is the one that's 100% on board, but 100% detached. It's like, you're ordained, you're the deacon, not me. I make sure that, and some wives get angry when I say this, but it's like, really, you know what my wife does? She makes sure that when I'm running, like I am preaching and I had three masses in the morning and I run home because I have to then go to the hospital. She makes sure that there's like a sandwich, and as I run by, she shoves the sandwich in my mouth, and it's like, make sure that you eat and make sure that you have, your shirts are clean,
Mm.
because so that, and that doesn't mean that she's my servant. It just means that that's how she's supporting me so that I can do the ministry. And then she's also very good at telling me when I'm doing too much. It's like,
Mm.
you know what? Maybe you should be home that weekend and stop preaching every other weekend because that's too much. And then, we're very blessed to have wives to root us in reality. Priests don't have that. Deacons do. So I'd say, yeah, desire, gifts, opportunity, confirmation from other people, and then just start asking questions. Speak to a deacon and see where that leads.